Hello everyone, I'm Jin Chen. How is the summer going? Today I want to show you this new renderer I've learned called Arnold renderer, and I found it's extremely easy to use and very high performance and very easy to set up all the materials and all the lightings, which could be a big pain in inventory. Even though we don't have it on our render farm, but I believe if I show you this and if you guys like it, we may be able to ask our lab to acquire this amazing render engine on our render farm. Okay, let's take a look how this render engine works. I have this character. It has a Lambert material, which is default. Let's assign a new material, and here we find a node, and we have this AI standard, which is the basic material of a node. And let's give it a name called body material. Okay, and I already have the textures I'm going to use. So let's select the material and drag this color map to the color. Okay, and then let's select the face, and I'm going to give it a new material, and this material is AI skin, which is the skin material of Arnold, and it's very easy to set up, very high performance, and very easy to get the results like real world. So let's select it and give it a name called face material. Okay, I'm not too concerned with the name, and let's drag this diffuse color to the shallow scatter and to the mid scatter. And then let's find its face specularity, which is a specular color, and I'm going to connect it to the specular. Okay, now I have this basic material set up. This one is the displacement map of the face, and I don't want to get into it right now. So let's create some basic lights. And up here is an Arnold, and we have these lights. You can see we have all the lights and all the Maya lights, which can be created also in the create lights and here. Okay, let's create a sky dome, which we can use it as a HDRI. So let's select it, and here is HDRI I already have. So let's connect it to the color and let's take a look. It's a big bar and it will illuminate all the object in it according to the color information of this HDRI map on this bar. Okay, so let's see what we got right now. With the basic lighting and material, let's hit its IPR render. And the benefits of Arnold is you can get a IPR render while you're working, and you can get instant feedback when you are tweaking the lights, especially when you are going to find where the shadow is, how the lights looks like. It's a big benefit and very easy to use when you are using the IPR render. And as I said before, it's very fast. So let's select the AI storm, and it looks a little bit too dark, so let's change the intensity to 5. Okay, now it looks better, but the skin looks too bright and too red. And it's probably because my scale is a little bit small, so to solve it I need to lower down the subsurface scattering weight and the radius multiplier, maybe 0.1, looks okay. And we have the right shading, but the color is too bright. So let's crank down this weight of this deep scatter, which is a red color. And as you can see, with just 3 values, I already get a result looks like a real human skin, and it's just very easy compared to like Mentori or Viri, which is much harder to set up. You need to go through all the layers step by step, and you need to do the lightings very carefully. And back here, we get this like free, and that's just amazing. Okay. And now we have this. Let's see what we can do to the body. And we have this body material, and as you can see, the lighting looks pretty good. Let's select the body and let's give it some specularity. And we can take this up. We have specular, and we also have furnace can be used. And I hope you know what for now means. And let's crank it up a little bit. And maybe the roughness a little bit higher. Okay. And now we have the pretty good specular on the body. And now let's create a main light because this environment light looks a little bit even. So we need a more sharp shadows or something on the face. So let's create another light called area light. And let's move it up and back here and rotate it a little bit. I want it to be far away because I want its performance looks like a directional light. Okay, now I have its position right. Let's take a look. And because in Arnold every light is performance like real world, which is a very good thing because we can just create light environment like real world. We can get pretty much the same results in the real world. So let's select this area lights, and it's too weak. So let's crank up this exposure. Let's try 6, not too much. Let's try 12, not too much. Let's try 16, a little bit too much. But yeah, we're getting there. I think 16 looks just okay. Okay, the ground looks a little bit too much because it's a Lambert. So let's select it, assign new material, and Arnold standard. Okay, and let's make the color a little bit darker so we get a better result. As you can see, with only 2 lights and only like 4 textures, which this one is a HDRI, we already get a very nice render. And the render time is really fast, and we can get instant feedback in the preview. As you can see, if we shrink in, the skin looks just so nice, and you cannot imagine you can get a skin like this inventory in like like 3 or 2 minutes, but in this Arnold, I think we only spend like 1 minute on it, and we already get a very good result. And there are other things that I need to show you that why Arnold is very powerful. Even I already show you uh, all the amazing things. And as we all know, in a normal render, like we have this mental ray, we need to, if we want this indirect lighting, like light bounce from to the ground and then bounce up to the body, we need the indirect lighting. So we need to check this final gathering, or we need to check this global illumination, which are very expensive, and also you need to tweak all of the uh, all the values to get a good result. And we also need to go to the light to to make the light to emit the photons. And that's just a lot of work, and you need to tweak back and forth to get a good looking because it has a lot of photons, and you need to change the radius, the intensity, and it's just too complex, and it's just too hard, and the result isn't as good as we have right now. Okay, and the second thing is something like linear workflow and inventory. We need to add a like color correction nodes to give it a color correction to make all the textures performed in a linear workflow pipeline. But we also have Vary here, and Vary have the same function, and you can check this color mapping, you can check this linear workflow. But in Arnold, it's default. which means you don't have to add anything, and Arnold will recognize what what type your texture is, and it will automatically convert it to a linear workflow, and everything just goes right. So this is a very good benefit. And there are other things like Arnold is actually very physical precise. Uh, what I mean is in Viri we can see we also have this indirect illuminations, and its default is the irradiance map, which is a cheap way to calculate but not that much accurate. And in Viri the best way to do the best quality is brute force, and it's very expensive, and sometimes I just don't have it on because it's just spent too much time. But in Arnold this is the default, and Arnold using another a way to calculate all the process and get the same result as brute force, and with a very fast speed. Okay, this is the second thing. And the other thing I want to show you is like if we uh, see the if we go to the material of the ground, and we can see if we change the color to a like uh, blue, and let's refresh the render, and I want to show you is its color bleeding calculation is very good. And if you have blue ground, you will find blue things on the body as well, and this is in the default, so you can get this blue color bounce from the ground. Maybe I did too much because the color is too saturated, but I just want to show you, and this is get for free, and everything is like for free, and everything is like just working like in real world, and with just two lines of field tweaking, and we are getting a pretty good match, pretty good lighting, and a pretty good characters here. Okay, I think I have shown you enough, and the reason I show you is because I want you to know there is a Arnold, and it's very easy to use. It's like a simplified, high quality video render, and its rendering time is very short, and it's very uh, physical precise. And I also want um, all you guys to think about it, and if we all like it, let's ask our lab to acquire this render, because the thesis is coming. There are a lot of panics, and this I believe this render will will speed up our render process on a extremely big scale. So thank you for watching, and uh, let's think about it.